Alright, happy Friday evening, folks. So, we have another rainy, dreary Friday night locally here. Actually quite foggy, like a London fog. And seems like a good night for some indoor activities, so I'm going to stream a little 911 operator tonight. Something I haven't played for probably over a month at this point. And where we last left off when we streamed it last time was we had started a playthrough in the city of Toronto. As you can see at the top bar here, we had about 7 duties already under our belt. At this point, since we had started from scratch in the city of Toronto, we have a very small department. So only 4 total police units, 3 ambulance units, and 2 fire department units. So a lot of room for growth here. Currently about 51K in the department's petty cash. But we're going to hang on to that and try to build up our funds a little bit before we apply any upgrades. I think, if I remember correctly, we did hire 1 new police officer since we had one officer off the street at this point. We also have a fire truck in the garage that we still have to staff. So we have to basically hire some crew for that. And the only other things look like we have some spare tech tools that we can assign once we do get our other fire truck on the street. Take a quick look before we start with a duty shift here, just to see if we have any officers or fire department recruits that we can hire who look pretty good. So let's see, we have a firefighter sergeant with pretty good ratings here. There's also a really good driver, 96%, plus 94% in tech skills. That's pretty strong. A couple other firefighters with some decent ratings. We have another firefighter here that we could hire, kind of a private rank, but he's got really good driving and tech skills as well. So I think right off the bat I see 2 fire department professionals I want to hire immediately. I think for this shift, well, we can at least get one of them on the street pretty much right away to start getting some XP. We're going to need some more recruits before we can staff our 3rd fire department unit, though. Alright, so I'm going to say we're going to go ahead and just run a shift just with the 2 units we already have in service. Temporarily, I'm going to assign probably think I'm assigning a junior unit to work with our existing technical truck and get him some XP while we're looking for some more recruits to hire for our third truck. In the meantime, let's see, do we have any equipment for him? We can get him a fire coat. Let me see how much fire suits cost. $2,500. We can afford that, so let's buy that for him right now, since he's going to be in the street for a shift. Hey, Chain Will. Welcome. Good to see you. How you doing? Okay. So yeah, we're just looking for 2 more recruits for our another fire truck and get that on the street, but we won't do that this shift. Another stream introducing you to something new. Eclectic taste in games. Yes, I guess I kind of do, Chain Will. Yeah, this is called 911 Operator. It's an independent game, probably a few years old, where basically the idea is that you run an emergency services department. So as you can see here, we have a roster of police, paramedic, and firefighting units, and you have basically a series of shifts that you run with, emergency calls, in all 3 disciplines, with you basically playing the role of a 911 operator. But you kind of also wear kind of a secondary hat as, what I regard as the director of emergency services, because in between shifts you're assigning staff, you're basically buying equipment, you're buying vehicles, recruiting new people. For example, right now I have a new recruit that fire department recruit I just hired, but I don't really have a ride for him right now because my 2 fire trucks are full. And I have 1 officer here who was basically on the bench because he was injured on our last shift. So it's kind of what I like to call a good old man game. It's basically a point and click type of role playing game. Doesn't require, any particular, sophisticated gaming reflexes. Just a matter of listening to the calls and assigning the right personnel to them and hopefully making the right reaction. So fascinating and certainly better than watching network TV. Yeah. Well, I don't know about that, but if you've never seen it before, I think you might find it interesting. So, yeah. So far, last time we played this, we started operations in a new city, the city of Toronto. We'd already completed 7 duties on this location. Basically, have your petty cash here, and you can use this to invest in upgrades. But we're going to build up our funds a little bit more there before we spend too much more money. And then you kind of have overall statistics. So if I go to this general tab, so far in our first 7 duties, we've had 132 different calls, and then we have miscellaneous stats, in terms of how we responded to those calls and how much we've, earned in operating funds and so on and so forth. So, and then this is, last duty specifically, this is kind of what we looked, how the result of our duty shift looked. All right, so that's enough talk. I mean, basically, once I get to the flow of it, you'll see how it works, and hopefully you'll find it interesting. I kind of do. So, all right, so let's see. I don't think there's anything else I want to do at this point. Let's all right, let's start the duty. All right, so basically the whole game, Chain Will, is played from this map. And, you have basically, these are hospitals across the map. These red icons are fire department facilities. And the blue ones are police stations. So basically here's my duty roster. So you can see for each unit what their status is, how many crew they carry, and then in the cases like, for example, like police cars, they can carry it. Standard patrol car can carry two prisoners or passengers in the back. I basically have a larger type of unit like this police van. They can carry up to 4 prisoners, and those are also displayed by icons on top of each vehicle. And right now, until I start the duty, they're kind of all static in their original locations. But once I start the duty, the police cars will patrol the area, and they even have a percentage chance of spontaneously responding to calls on their own without me dispatching them. The medical and fire units pretty much stay at home until I tell them to do something. So let's start the duty and see how it goes. All right, so we have an immediate incident here. A woman's bag has been stolen. Suspect is running, so let's send a nearby police car to take a look at that. See if we can run that guy down and get that woman's handbag back. The depth of thought that went into creating this, wow, yeah. Yeah, I think it's a neat little game. It actually has quite a bit of depth to it. All right, so they caught him here, and you can see this icon here is showing that he's in the process of being apprehended, as you can see by the handcuffs. And they should wrap that call in a minute. But in the meantime, I actually have a call incoming. Let's grab that.
911, what's your emergency?
Hello? There was a robbery.
All right, first thing we usually ascertain is where
Where did this
if we
happen?
can.
Around.
How long ago did this happen?
Just a few minutes ago.
Do you have any injuries?
Yeah,
Where were you hit?
it's my head. I'm bleeding.
Okay, I want you to just stay there and wait until the ambulance arrives.
Sure.
Did they have any weapons?
Yeah, one of them had a gun.
Are your
Ooh,
attackers
that's
still in
nasty.
the area?
They took a car and drove away.
Can you describe the car?
It was a white sedan, but it's plates.
We'll take care of it. Just wait for emergency services to arrive.
Yeah, I will.
All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to dispatch an ambulance to her location because she says she was injured. But also, and I'm going to pause quickly right here. Normally you let the clock run in real time, but also associated with this is basically a search grid. So she said her attackers fled. She didn't know where they were. So what that suggests is a mechanic where I want to assign police officers to search this grid. The more police officers I assign, the quicker they can complete the search. They'll do that somewhat autonomously, or I can tell them to search specific parts of the grid. And this grid search mechanic is something new with a DLC that was just released a couple months ago called Search and Rescue DLC. That's a brand new mechanic. All right, so we're going to let that clock run. In the meantime, we have another new pop-up here. What is this? All right, so people are trapped in a broken elevator. I'm dispatching the technical truck from our fire department to handle that. Let's see, we got another new call in the meantime. Drug usage call. Man is putting a needle in his arm. So I'm going to immediately dispatch a police car to take a look at that. And I'm also going to send a nearby ambulance to look at that. In the meantime, we keep our running roster of incidents here. And we can click on any one of these at any time and kind of ascertain what their status is. So you'll get information about the overall call and what type of professionals are required. You can get a recap of your phone messages here. And then you can get on-site status, what officers are assigned and what they're actually doing. If necessary, I can reassign people to do things manually. Let's grab this call.
911, what's your emergency?
Hello? I've been shot by my Uber driver.
Whoa.
Where did this happen?
Okay.
When did it happen?
I'm going to send an ambulance there immediately. That guy says he's got
They
shot.
just shot me a few seconds ago.
What's your name?
My name's Jake. Jake Donovan.
Where have you been shot?
In the chest and in the leg.
Do you have a belt?
Yes, I have a belt. Fuck, it hurts.
I need you to wrap your belt tight about 2 inches above the gunshot wound on your leg. That will stop most of the bleeding.
Okay. Alright, done.
Are you breathing okay? Is there a lot of blood coming from your chest?
I am having a little difficulty breathing. And yes, there is a lot of blood.
I need you to rip your shirt and use it to cover up the wound. You need to try and stop the bleeding.
Yeah, you're right, Chainwell. There's quite a bit to juggle. And as you can see, while this call is still active, there's other incidents still popping up. So you kind of have to keep an eye on everything that's still going on at the time.
Did you see what direction the driver went?
South? Maybe?
Do you know what type of car it was and what color it was?
They were driving a blue Chevy Cruze.
I need you to stay calm. Emergency services are on their way.
Please have them hurry. I might pass out.
Alright, so I sent a police officer there, hopefully to maybe catch the Uber driver who shot him. But no, it looks like he already left the area. Let's see, in the meantime, we had an electrical hazard call. We dispatched our fire tech truck to handle that. Now, this call was basically a big house fire. So we assigned one fire department unit there. We're going to send an ambulance to help with them. In the meantime, we had a chemical fire here, but we're kind of out of fire department units. Let's see, we got another new call, red light. All my other cops are kind of tied up, so I'm just going to send this police van to intercept them. I usually don't have them on kind of traffic duty. Usually my police vans are pretty heavily stocked with, you know, basically SWAT-type officers, but since they were there, I'll just send them to do that. All right, in the meantime, we got another new call. What's this? A missing person with Alzheimer's. So that's a search and rescue scenario. I'm going to send this ambulance there to take a look. And since I have a police officer free, I'm going to send them to help with the search as well. So another new call coming in, or another dispatch coming in. A car blocking away. That's a technical job. I got a tech truck nearby there. Alright, they cleaned up that fire up here. Let's grab this call.
911, what's your emergency?
Hello? I hear loud noises from the neighboring flat. Can you send somebody
I
to
said
check
you
it?
go there to help.
What's the address you're calling from?
My
Why is this
house
call
said-
taking so long?
I'm in Unit 6.
Okay.
Do you know who lives there?
Students. There are 4 of them. 1 couple and 2 guys.
Do you know what's happening at your neighbor's place?
I've heard some aggressive voices. Maybe an argument. I think they might start fighting at any moment.
Do you think they might have any weapons? Did you hear something that might indicate that they might be armed in any way?
Yes, somebody's shouting threats about pulling out a gun.
Alright, that doesn't sound good. I'm going to dispatch our police van there right away.
I'm sending the emergency services, okay? Just stay at your apartment and stay calm.
Thank you. I'll be waiting at my place. Bye.
And just preemptively, I'm also going to dispatch an ambulance to follow them to the scene. Just in the case that things escalate to violence, we'll have medical treatment there. Alright, in the meantime, what do we have? A sharp tool injury. Massive blood loss. Okay, so I need a medical unit freed up, but right now I don't have a medical unit freed up. What do we have here? Chemical fire. Okay, we got to get our fire department units over there immediately. Why is this call taking so long? What do we need here? Robbery resolved. Okay, they finally cleaned up. They just took a long time for them to finish that call. But what I can do now is I can take this ambulance and send them to this call. Let's see, what else do we get? We got a home invasion. Oh, that's not good. And I just sent my SWAT van up here. Let's take a look at this call real quick. How they making out? Oh, there's a guy with a gun here. They need to deal with him. Where's my sergeant? Do something with that guy. Yeah, I was afraid of that. But they're pretty well armed, and they all have body armor. They should be able to deal with this guy pretty easily. I'm going to send them some police backup, though. I'll redivert this unit here. What else did we get? We got another new call here. A stalker call. Woman reports that someone is watching our house. Receiving a lot of messages. Okay, I'm going to send a patrol car there to take a look at that incident. What was this that popped up? Another fire alarm. Let's take this phone call.
911, what's your emergency?
Hell, I can't breathe. I am trapped in the car.
Sir, keep calm. Where are you?
Ooh, so that's a drop call. That didn't sound good. So we didn't get his address from the call, but we're waiting for a trace to be completed based on the location that he was called from. Alright, so let's see if we get a trace there. Alright, so he's out here. Do I have an ambulance free? Yes. Let me send them. And we got a couple other calls that popped up. Let's see, what else do we need? I'll send a medical unit to search for this missing person with Alzheimer's. Another one. What else did we get that we missed? A cat in a tree, that can wait. That's a low priority. Fire alarm here. With calls for a tech truck. We'll send a tech truck now that they're free. We have another call here. A home invasion. Let's see if I can get somebody on it. Up, that call closed out before I could dispatch units. Alright, so that's one of the shortcomings we have. It's still a very small department. You kind of run out of resources sometimes before you can respond. Alright, so what do we need here? We need medical units there. We got an ambulance nearby. Let's send them. And then that should help them close that call out. What else do we have? Another fire. So let's send a free fire truck here to deal with that. What else do we have? The cat in a tree. I'm going to ignore that completely. That's a waste of department time. And usually the way this game works, cats and trees, you get nothing for it. It's just, you know, if you got a free unit, fine, but otherwise ignore them. Someone was stabbed here. Ooh, that's nasty. Let me see. Do I have a free ambulance anywhere? I do not. But I do have a nearby police officer. I'm going to have them go look at that, even though we need a paramedic, just to try to keep this call from timing out before I can respond. Let's get this phone call.
911, what's your emergency?
It's burning here. Please, send help.
What's the address you're calling from, ma'am?
In front of
What's burning, ma'am?
a garage.
What kind of garage is that?
It's an underground garage.
So, how big is this fire?
The flames are huge. They're shooting into the sky. It looks really scary.
Yes, sounds scary.
Are there any cars near the fire?
Oh, didn't I say that a car's already on fire?
Okay, I'm sending the fire department right now.
Good. Bye.
Alright, so I was going to divert this technical truck to help with this fire, but I'm going to send them here instead because we only have 2 fire department units. Let's see, what else did we miss? So they still need an ambulance here. They're rendering first aid, and they'll do so as long as they can to help, but they're going to take longer to resolve this than an ambulance would. In the meantime, did we free up an ambulance? Okay, this ambulance is freeing up. As soon as they drop their passengers off, excuse me, at the hospital, then I'll redivert them to this call. Alright, so they're free now. Let's redivert them here. In the meantime, what do we have new? Another cat and tree. And I'm going to ignore that because we're super busy elsewhere. Alright, what else is going on here? So this is... Alright, whatever call that was is now closed. That's good. Let me look at our incident list. The only thing we have outstanding now is the fire. Alright, so they're almost there. I'm going to also divert our other fire truck there to help them with that. That looks like a pretty big fire. Yeah, large fire. So we're going to need at least 2 units there. I'm also going to dispatch an ambulance there to help. Because sometimes with big calls like this, you know, your fire department or your department professionals can get injured on the job. So I'm going to send an ambulance to help back them up just to... Okay, so they've resolved that fire without any additional help. All right, good. So that's the end of our shift. Whew! All right, Shane. Well, let me catch up on chat a little bit. As you can see, it's very hard for me to stop and break to read chat, right? All right. So Chamberlain says, with all the incoming calls, you have to be quite the juggler. Yeah. This certainly gives one a real appreciation for the 911 operators. I think it did for me anyway. And I'm sure this is nothing like the real thing, but it makes you think about some things that, you know, I never really thought about, you know. Scenarios seem very realistic and current, yeah. Cat lovers of the world are now organizing a protest. Yeah, well, you know. If the cat lovers of the world want to chip in some more funds to the department to help us grow, I'm all for it, you know. So, but yeah, so that's a little taste of it. So that's the end of our shift. So what we'll do real quick is we'll go through our shift summary. So the first thing to notice here is the general summary. So we had 21 calls. The average tends to be about 23 calls per shift. So some of the key stats here are 5 arrested, 5 hospitalized, 11 people were healed or assisted. One of the key stats here is reputation. So as you respond to calls properly, you'll see these points after the resolved stat here. These add up to what's called reputation. So reputation is kind of like an operational currency. If you respond to something improperly or you fail to respond in a timely fashion, then you get negative points as indicated in these red indicators here. So obviously you want to minimize the red reputation and maximize, you know, your reputation in the black and accumulate reputation here. In addition to that, you actually earn income from the calls. So you get a certain amount of base income per shift. You'll get rewards. You'll get fines that can be collected in terms of, you know, tickets collected by your police officers, traffic tickets, parking tickets, you know, noise citations, things like that. And then they subtract out the salaries because each one of your professionals here earns a salary per shift, and you end up with net profit per shift that you can invest back into upgrades, so on and so forth. So we ended up, like I said, with 21 calls, a couple below our average. 45 reputation, which is not bad, but a little bit below our average also. Total profit, $43K for the shift, which is actually very good. But for me, my most important stat, 0 deaths, right? Because, I mean, what's the purpose of your department? To preserve life. So every shift that I can have 0 death here is a good shift as far as I'm concerned. The other thing I look for is, as you can see at the bottom here, I have a number of promotions. So I have 2 paramedic promotions, and I have 2 police promotions. But in addition to that, the most important thing here after no deaths, civilian deaths, is no injuries. So no injuries for anybody this shift. That was clean. I was a little worried about that because they kind of had, like, even with this small, you know, department at this stage, and my department will grow, but right now this is considered a very small department. You know, we did have some really big, scary fires, and a lot of times our fire department professionals will get injured on those type of calls. Sometimes you have heavy crime activities, like I think there was a home invasion or 2 that was listed on the board. You know, your police officers can get injured, but, you know, as long as you equip them with enough, you know, gear and training and staffing, hopefully you can keep injuries to a minimum. So we had a good shift here, no injuries. So let's kind of go through the shift summary a little bit here. So we kind of have these, you know, these non-telephone dispatches indicated depending on the type of call: blue for police, red for, you know, fire, and white for medical. But the green calls are the incoming calls to the 911 center. So let's take a look at those. So the first one was the guy who was shot by his Uber driver. So we didn't find the guy who shot him. Sometimes you do, but in this case, he was at least he was treated with first aid and taken to the hospital, plus 3 reputation there. So that worked out. Next call we had coming in was robbery. That was a woman who called, said she was robbed. The criminals ran away. We searched the grid, but it doesn't look like we actually found the attackers. So, but we did respond with first aid for her. So she's okay. So only +1 reputation there. It'd been nice if we could have found the people who attacked her, but it didn't work out this time. And as our police units, rank up a little bit, they'll be able to resolve more effective search patterns to kind of search that grid and find the people they're looking for. And if I kind of had a more fully staffed department, I might have been able to micromanage that search a little bit more myself and get a better outcome there to find the criminals. But it just didn't work out this time. All right, so the next call that came in was a woman called, said her neighbors were loud, and she expected that they might end up escalating to violence, which it turned out she was right, because we did find a guy there with a gun. He ended up being wounded by the police. He was arrested and taken to the hospital. Party host was given a $1,000 ticket, so nice fines for us. Another aggressive man started a fight there. He was injured, subdued, and given first aid. Doesn't say he was arrested, though. He probably should have been. Caller was checked and reported. Another person was checked and reported. Aggressive man with a gun received medical transport, taken to the hospital. So it sounds like we had 2 people taken to the hospital. Okay. Either way, we got +6 reputation on that call, so that was very successful. And again, kind of worry about those calls because there were no injuries to our professionals. All right, so then we had this guy, man trapped under a call, but he dropped the line before we could actually get his address. However, we were able to find him, rescued him from the obstacle that he was pinned under, given first aid, taken to the hospital successfully, +4 reputation there. GG to us. And the last incoming call we had to the call center was, there was a fire. Oh, that was there was a garage fire, underground garage, it turned out. Caller said the flames were huge, they're shooting to the sky. So we got one unit there kind of at the end of shift that we were kind of afraid that maybe we needed backup, but that fire department unit got there and was able to successfully resolve the fire. Doesn't look like any personnel were injured there, and we got +2 reputation there. So good job by a single unit there. And again, like I said, no deaths, no injuries. So that's a pretty good shift. Let's see, were there any other interesting calls that we might want to take a look at the results of? All right, big house fire there. Person they found was heavily injured, but +3 there, taken to the hospital. Let's take a look at these calls we missed. We had a sharp tool injury there. I remember seeing it on the map, but I just didn't free up an ambulance in time to be able to respond, so we ended up -9 there. The other thing we missed, there was another home invasion here. And I remember seeing it, and I think I remember just as I was trying to dispatch a unit to it, the call timed out, so -9 there. That's unfortunate. But we just missed those 2 calls. A net of +45, so that's not too bad. And there we go. As you said earlier, fascinating. Ah, cool. I'm glad you think so, Chain. Well, I do too. Great report. Congrats, you made it look easy. A trait of a real pro. Thank you, Chain. Well, appreciate the compliment. All right, so in the meantime, that completes our 8th duty. So we do get our 1 injured police officer back available on the street. Unfortunately, I don't have a unit to assign him to at this point. But I think while he was injured at the end of our last shift, I think I assigned... I think I recruited a rookie, basically, to pick up his shift. So I'm guessing he probably came from this unit, because this guy's a rookie. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate this guy back on the bench, and I'm going to put him back in the squad car he came from, give him his service pistol back, and let's see, between the 2 of these, as you can see, some of my officers get body armor, and some of them get these system terminals, and I like to assign 1 system terminal to each one of my patrol cars, because that allows them to actually resolve cases faster when they're on scene, in terms, I guess, writing tickets or, whatever other data they might need to resolve a call. Because if you remember that there was a one call where I kind of had police and ambulance kind of in one place, and I went back to it after a while. It's like, what's taking them so long to resolve that call? So if you give them like this data terminal, it helps them resolve certain things faster. So usually between a 2-person unit like this, I like to give whoever the better marksman is the body armor, and I give usually the more senior person, if he's not a marksman, I give them usually the system terminal. Let me see. So 69 marksmanship, 82 marksmanship. So I'm going to give him the body armor, assuming, you know, that would probably be the guy who go through a door first, right? He's probably taking point. And then I will give his partner the system terminal there. All right. So eventually, if we do get another... filtered out. If we do get another police car in service, I'll be able to assign this officer to staff it. All right, so in the meantime, I am trying to get a couple more crew to be able to staff this other fire department unit, because we can certainly use that unit on the street. I'm going to take a quick look at the recruits, because now we have a little bit more money. We can hire a couple more fire professionals to staff another truck, which we could certainly use. Alrighty, so I think this is the guy I hired at the end of the last shift. He has good technical skills. I might leave him on this tech truck here. If I can hire 3 more good recruits to complement this guy who's a sergeant. I mean, so you can kind of see the upper right-hand corner of each one of these characters is basically their rank. So he's providing leadership on whatever the next truck is that I get on the street. So I'm assuming I already have basically a leader for that squad. I just need 3 more people to help staff it. I could probably settle for 2. I like to have fully staffed trucks, but you know, if you have at least 3 people on a fire truck, usually they'll be effective until they rank up. So let me see. Do I have any really good recruits here? Okay, right away. This person here, Hannah Wright, 95% driving, 80% tech skills. And she's got some pretty good ratings for her rank, so I'm going to recruit her immediately. And don't need another sergeant. Eva Martinez, we don't need a driver. Both of these 2 already have pretty good driving ratings, but she has good tech skills and decent performance ratings, so I'm going to recruit her too. So I can hire 1 more person. This guy's got good driving skills, but the rest of his ratings are kind of so-so. So I'm not inclined to hire him right away. Putting teams together so there are adequate skills available, yeah. Yeah, and it makes a difference because, for example, each truck will kind of have a theoretical, if I highlight this one. As you can see, my fire truck here is a maximum speed rating of 100 miles an hour. But that rating can actually be increased by having a better driver. So, for example, here's the same type of unit, but their rating is 123 miles per hour. Mainly because they have probably this person. His driving skill is 98%. So he's, you know, the ratings do matter in how the team performs in a number of areas. So yeah, it's kind of deep. It can be anyway. All right, so in the meantime, we can get this truck on the street immediately. So we're filtered down to fire department here, so we just assign a new team. And I'm going to put that truck into service. And I'm going to immediately add my crew aboard. And I'm going to get them some very basic equipment. At a minimum, I give them a fire suit each. And that's not too expensive. I'm going to actually move them up in the ratings only because I like, in the roster rather, because I usually like to keep my vehicles in a certain order. So I'll hold my fire trucks first, my technical trucks second. So now we have another unit in place. Also, in the equipment locker, I have another set of tech tools. And who has the best tech skills on this crew? She does. It looks like 281. Well, technically he does because he's the highest rank. So I guess I'm going to give him the tech tools. And what that allows them to do is basically kind of respond to technical calls in a manner that this technical truck would, kind of as their secondary function. So, you know, it makes my team versatile. All right, so that's not bad. We got another fire truck on the street, and we have no other injuries. And we've got about 76K in petty cash, which means we can start looking at maybe working towards another vehicle. I think the next vehicle type I would probably start looking at is either an ambulance or a police unit. I'd probably lean toward police units mainly because we have basically a police officer just sitting on the bench right now, collecting salary, but not really doing anything. Very deliberate and thoughtful process. There's nothing haphazard about it in any way. Yeah. No wonder the post-duty scores are so satisfying. Yeah. Yeah, and it's kind of fun starting in a new city and building the department up from scratch, you know. I think before I started building in Toronto, we had been running in Los Angeles for a number of duties. And, you know, we kind of gotten to the point on stream where, you know, that department was so effective, you know, has so many professionals that at very high ranks and have basically all the equipment types they can need, all the vehicle types, that it almost starts to lose the challenge at that point because you have more than you need to respond to calls, you know. So yeah, it's always fun to start in a new city and start building things up from scratch. Alright, so I think we're ready to roll another shift. We do have another slot here. Oh, no, I was going to say maybe we can have another recruit, but I think we already looked at recruits and we didn't find anybody who knocked our socks off. Yeah, he's probably the best recruit left available, but we'll wait, see if we get anybody else. Okay. You know what we could do with this one guy here? We have a little bit of money. Let me see how much does a motorcycle cost? Why am I having trouble seeing that? 20. Okay, so we could actually get this guy on a bike. Police bike costs us about 20K. And it holds, strangely enough, a crew of 2, but I found, you know, one person could usually man it pretty good. Technically, we actually have enough money to buy a squad car. That's only 50K. Actually, we have enough money at this point to get an unmarked car, but we'd still have to wait a little bit till we get another officer to staff it. Alright, so I think I'm going to sit on this money for now. We might actually be able to get an unmarked car on the street, which is helpful in a number of ways that, you know, we'll discover later. Helicopters are also very useful. This particular department does not have any helicopter types, even though we have overall 2 different police helicopter types available to us. We have this large police chopper that has staffs a crew of 3. We have the smaller one that staffs a crew of 2. Both are pretty useful. There's also a medical chopper available and even a firefighting chopper available. And then we also have the specialized search and rescue helicopter, which is new with the last DLC that came out. I actually don't have any experience with this yet. I might buy one at some point just for science, but all the helicopters are like 6 figures, so it takes a while to get enough money to start buying that type of equipment. Alright, so let's run another shift. I'm just going to sit in this petty cash, and this guy can stay on the bench until we can afford another police unit. Alright, so let's move on. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at our unit deployment, because like I said, we just put a brand new fire truck on the street. That would be the one that has, it would be this one that has a crew of 3 on it. So right now they're kind of in the, whoops, that was a misclick, in the northern section. I think I'm going to move them a little bit more central to the map. Put them here. And we have the second fire truck here. We have our tech truck here. I think they're okay there for now. So in the meantime, where else? So we have our number 1, number 2 squad cars. We have our police van, our SWAT van here. Motorcycles here. That looks good. And we have 1, 2, 3 ambulances. That's good enough deployment. Alright, it looks good. Let's try that and we'll start the duty. Is weather a variable that's part of this? Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there are snow events here. There's earthquake events. Yeah, there are a number of weather-related events that can, you know, spontaneously happen in the game, Chainwheel. And you know, some of the events are tied to, you know, kind of geographically where you are, where your city is. All right, so here's our first dispatch of the day. Red light call. We'll send a motorcycle to run him down, and we'll take this phone call while he's doing that.
911, what's your emergency?
Good evening. I need help. Yeah, stupid thing.
What's your name, sir?
I'm Jacob Kobus.
Where are you calling from?
Around.
Why'd you call 911?
My cat climbed up a tree and can't go down. It's very dark. Can you send firefighters?
Alright, so this is a different type of cat in a tree call.
No? Can you help me?
Because we're not busy, I will send
send
them
the fire
help.
Thank you. I'll be waiting. Reporting.
Alright, so we're going to send our tech truck there immediately. If we were super busy like we were towards the end of our last shift, I would have ignored it. Because, you know, cat and tree, that's what I consider low priority on the triage scale. But, you know, units sitting around, they got nothing better to do. Fine, I'll send them some help. Alright, let's see, we got another dispatch here. A loud party. Party in the neighborhood is far too loud. Drugs are likely being used. 4 suspects. Alright, so I'm going to send a squad car here. And since our motorcycle just freed up from that previous call, that traffic ticket, I'm going to send the motorcycle there as a backup. I'm not going to send a SWAT van right away because it's just a party. Hopefully there's nobody, you know, with weapons or anything. But if things escalate, you know, they're not too far away. I can send them as further backup. In the meantime, what do we have here? Person experiences heavy diabetic shock. Well, lucky for him, we have an ambulance right there. But let's go back and monitor this call, the loud party. Alright, so the on-site view you can see, basically it's just 4 people here getting tickets, probably drunk and disorderly. We don't expect any violence here. I'm sure they'll be fine. Let's take this phone call.
911, what's your emergency?
Hello?
Cat lovers are cheering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just noticed there's a fire.
Where is it, sir? Sir, what's on fire?
One of the building's roof. It's on fire. I don't know what happened.
Is there anyone inside the building?
I don't know, but I think...
Alright, I'm going to start a fire truck rolling immediately and send them back up.
Hello?
Here's what I want you to do. Find the nearest fire alarm station and activate the alarm.
Okay, fire alarm. Sure thing. Get here fast. Hello?
Is the building connected to a gas supply?
It might be. I'm not sure.
Just
Sir,
do the
evacuate
evacuation. I'll
everyone
let the
in
fire
area and
department
wait
worry
for the
about the
fire
gas.
department to arrive, okay?
Okay, they evacuated.
I'm sending the emergency services. Please wait for them.
I will. Thank you.
Alright, I'm also going to dispatch an ambulance just as backup, just in case. I don't know how many people are at that facility, and, you know, there might be panic injuries, so we'll see how that goes. Alright, here's a gas valve. That's an obstacle. This is our tech crew. They should be able to handle that immediately. Looks like they're dealing with the fire first, though. So I'm going to have the most senior person... Oh, they already put the fire out, and they're working on the obstacle now. Alright, good.
We're done here.
They're done. See, that's what an effective crew looks like. They handled that pretty well without me micromanaging. Alright, in the meantime, what else we got? Childbirth call here. 2 childbirth calls. Okay. So we'll dispatch 2 ambulances to cover that. That should be easy. What's this call? Amputated limb. Ooh, that's nasty. Alright, we'll have another ambulance to deal with that. Yeah, this is the kind of call I wish I had a helicopter available, because they can get there in a matter of seconds and deal with that. Alright, in the meantime, let's redispatch our fire departments back to their original companies, just to be better deployed on the map. Okay, what do we have here? House fire, large fire. Alright, luckily our fire department units are just freed up. I will actually dispatch 2 fire units to that because it's classified as a large fire. Let's grab this phone call.
911, what's your emergency?
And an ambulance.
There's a bat in my apartment!
What's your address? Ma'am, you can help yourself here. Just open a window wide and turn off the lights. Before you know it, the bat'll be gone.
No way am I coming out of here.
You have to. I'm not going to send an officer over there. Your life's not in danger. It's not even an emergency. It's a bat in your house.
Please.
Southern accent in Toronto, yeah.
You can do it, ma'am. Just be careful, okay?
Oh, I can't. I really can't.
You know what? Our tech truck's just freed up. I'll be.
Okay,
I'll
send
have
somebody to help.
mercy.
Just stay there, please.
Somebody will help her out. I almost never send somebody to help that type of call, but you know what? I got a free unit. Let them go ahead. Guess I'm feeling merciful tonight. All right, this house fire. Let's see. So we got a truck going there. We got a second truck going, and we have an ambulance coming. All right, so you should be able to deal with that pretty well. Let's see. Did I miss anything else? Take a look at the incident list. So the house fire. Okay, that's being dealt with. The bat in the room. I'm sending a tech truck, so that should be okay. Drinking in public. All right, so they're just writing tickets here. I'm going to send a motorcycle there to cover that call because they'll get the tickets written faster and both of these units will free up quicker. What else we got? Gunshot wound. Person is bleeding heavily. All right, we'll send the nearest ambulance. But what I'm also going to do is I'm going to send a police unit there to cover just because who shot him, right? What else do we got? Gas explosion. Oh, that's nasty. Let's take this phone call, though.
911, what's your emergency?
And I'll dispatch the tech truck to this gas explosion.
Emergency, but I'm making a computer game about your work, and I'd like to possibly talk for a moment.
Sir, you should contact the emergency services.
Don't have time for that,
department with your
dude.
case.
All right, so this ambulance freed up. I'm going to divert them to the
Please
gas
visit the
explosion
department's
also.
website, post a request to meet with the dispatchers.
Okay, can I ask for your name so I can put it in the request?
Sorry, but you cannot. Please do not block the line.
Okay, I'm sorry. Thanks and bye.
All right, so we'll ignore that call. Sorry I can't help that guy, but this is an emergency department after all, and that's not an emergency. All right, so anything else outstanding? The gunshot wound. Let's see. So we have this ambulance going there, and we sent that van there. All right, so no suspects there. It's just the injured guy, heavily injured. Poor guy. All right, but they'll be able to handle that. Let's see. We got a new call popped up here. What is this? Another gunshot wound. Jeez. Do I have another ambulance? I got one free here. He's kind of far away, but he's the only free unit. All right, so much for that. Whew. All right, so how are they doing here on the gas explosion? Let's send another fire department unit there to help clean that up quicker. Although they're putting that fire out pretty quick. Alright, fire's out, actually. So it's just a medical injury to resolve, and that looks like an obstacle, debris of some sort to clean up there. Let's take this phone call.
911, what's your emergency?
Starting to get busy.
Hello? I would like to report a robbery.
Where did this happen?
Around...
Ooh, heart attack. Anybody free? When did that
How long
happen?
ago did this happen?
Just a few minutes ago.
Do you have any injuries?
Yeah, my friend is hurt.
What happened to your friend?
They knocked him down. He's hurt and is having breathing problems.
Okay, just make sure he doesn't move until
Alright,
the
I'm going to
ambulance
dispatch a
arrives.
police motorcycle there, because they're free.
Did they have any weapons?
Yeah, they had a bat and a knife.
Actually, I'm going to send a
Are your
second
attackers still
police
in the
unit
area?
there as backup, because they were armed.
They ran away somewhere.
We'll take care of it. Just wait for emergency services to arrive.
Yeah, I will.
And I need an ambulance to cover. But I got these two going to heart attack and a gunshot wound. This is my only ambulance. As soon as they drop their patient off, I'll send them. Alright, so they're free. Let me send them there. Alright. Let's see. We got another new call. What do we have? What is this? Drinking in public? Ooh, shots fired there. But luckily we got backup already on the way. But they are going to need an ambulance. Let's see what else we got. Vandals, 4 suspects. Well, luckily we got a 4-person police van to deal with them. Let me see. So how are we doing here? So 2 injuries here. We got a ambulance that can carry 2 patients, so I should be able to cover that. No police injuries, so they're handling that. They look okay. See what else we got here. Vehicle theft. Vehicle stolen from a parking lot. Our motorcycle's busy here. That's my fastest pursuit unit, but I do have a free squad car. I'll send them to hopefully run that down. Let's see. Only another 15 minutes left on shift. Whew. I can barely catch my breath. Hopefully we don't get any other major calls before the shift ends. Alright, so they caught the vehicle thief. And they need some backup. I'll send an ambulance. Let me grab that phone call.
911, what's your emergency?
Hey, I live near the jail, and I think I just saw someone escaping it.
Oh, great. A prison break right at the end of my shift.
Okay, tell me what you saw, sir.
I noticed some men going out.
And all my cops are tied up.
Like in a movie.
Which prison are we talking about, sir?
Fox River at the...
Oh, man, look at that search grid I gotta cover.
Did you count how many prisoners escaped?
There were 4 of them.
Where are they now?
I don't know. They drove away quickly, heading north.
Did they have someone waiting for them?
No, it seemed like they've stolen a car.
Okay, so we're looking for a stolen car.
Did you get a look at the car? Make, model, color, that kind of thing?
Alright, I got 1 police officer just freed up
A
here.
white car. I believe
What
it
is
was
this, a fight? Let me send an ambulance in the meantime for that.
Was there someone in the car?
Yes, the driver. They dragged him out of the car, hit a few times, threw him in the trunk.
Ooh, that's nasty. Let
Okay,
me send an
thanks for the
ambulance
call.
there.
The police will start looking for them.
Good luck.
That driver might need assistance. Okay, meanwhile, luckily, all our other police officers is freed up. So let me send an officer to deal with that. I'm going to also send the motorcycle to deal with that. As soon as this police unit drops off their passengers, I'll divert them to this fight. Actually, I'll send a SWAT van to this fight. That's perfect for them. And let's see. Alright, luckily this is the last call of shift. As we can see, our shift call is empty. How are they making out down here? Oh, they got a lot of injuries. Let me send another medical unit there. Oh, that's a nasty fight going on there. Alright, let's see how we're doing with the search here. Let's add this police unit to the search. Meanwhile, how many more injuries do we need to deal with here? Alright, was anybody hurt here?
There's nothing here.
Nobody was hurt there, so I'm going to divert this ambulance back to this call to hopefully resolve that call quicker. And when this ambulance frees up... Actually, no, we don't have any more injuries, so we should be okay there. Alright, they're done. And as soon as they drop their passengers off, or their prisoners off, rather, I'm going to divert them to take place in the search. Whoops, sorry. Minor misclick. Alright, so I'll send them to the search. Actually, at this point, what I can do is I can start micromanaging the grid search. So I can literally take each one of these units and tell them to search a specific block. So let's do it that way. Let's add ambulances to the search, too. Hey, they got nothing better to do, right? If they find something, hopefully they won't get hurt, but we'll see.
Sector clear.
Hey, Daffies.
Object not found.
Wearing my 911 operator hat tonight. Alright, so let's keep searching. We do inside-out search.
Understood. Heading over there. Reporting.
There's nothing here. There's nothing.
Alright.
Object not found.
I'm right away. Understood.
13 King 84.
Object not found.
Report right away. I'm listening.
Sector.
Understood.
Sector clear.
Right away.
Sector clear.
Heading over there. Waiting for orders. Heading over there. I'm listening.
Object not found.
Alright.
Reporting.
Let's get this guy out in the pattern.
There's nothing here.
Right away.
Object not.
Waiting for right away. I'm listening.
Maybe you can clear that area. I'll have him clear this area.
Heading over there.
No?
Object.
There.
Heading over there.
You
Reporting.
go there.
Understood.
There's no.
Waiting for orders.
There's nothing here.
Alright,
Heading
keep
over there.
going.
I'm listening. Understood.
Object not.
Reporting. Understood. I'm listening. Heading over there. Reporting right away.
Object.
Waiting right away.
Object not.
Report. Heading over.
Object not found.
Okay.
Object not.
Right away. Waiting for orders.
Object not.
Heading over there. Reporting. Understood.
There's nothing here. Sector clear. Object not found.
5 DVO, 10-5 that location.
There's nothing here.
I see you, Daffies. Drinking in public looks cool? Is that what you're saying?
Object found.
We found it. Alright.
Report right away.
So,
Right
we'll
away.
send all the units.
Right away. Waiting for orders. Heading over there. Waiting for orders. Heading over there.
Get over there.
Right away.
So this is our last call to shift, Daffies. We're trying to apprehend escaped prisoners.
Requesting support. Requesting support.
Support's on the way.
I'm listening. Understood.
13 King 84.
A lot of injuries. None of them ours, luckily. Not yet, anyway. Get in there.
If there's any FTO or recruit for that gun turning, give us
Any more police officers we can send now? So we got all our ambulances and all our police units heading in.
2247 West Monroe.
Oh, yeah. I'm on that.
Medical heading to
Man, a lot of injuries going on. None of them ours, though. We're looking okay.
D39 is going to be a 91. I think I'm going to top.
injured on board.
All right, last injury here, and this should be our last action of the shift.
13 King 84.
All right, that's it. And that's our shift. Ooh, got kind of hectic at the end there, didn't it, Chainwheel? But you know what? They handled it pretty good. I'm proud of them. So you kind of saw the other search and rescue mechanic there. So while you can pretty much just assign units to do that grid search themselves, you can also micromanage them, and sometimes that resolves them a little quicker. All right, so let's take a look at our quick duty summary. So 22 cases resolved, which is pretty much right on our average of 23. 7 prisoners taken into custody, 15 hospitalized, 21 received first aid. Net reputation of plus 59, which is always good. Finances, we ended up with $6K in fines, 54 in miscellaneous rewards. Total profit on the shift of $58K, which is very good. And as I always like to say, our number one most important stat, no deaths. That is always the most important thing in my book. In the meantime, we got hectic indeed, yeah. Let's see, we got a number of a number of additional promotions. So we got 1, 2, 3 police promotions, 2 paramedic promotions. We do have 1 injury though here, so let's see. This team member is in recovery for 1 day, cannot be assigned. Okay. So he's one of our corporals. I'm not sure which unit he was on. One of the junior paramedics. But he's only down for 1 day, so that's not too bad. And usually you can man an ambulance pretty good with a crew of 2, so that won't be a huge loss. You know, we don't like to see injuries to our staff, but it does happen. But yeah, that's not too bad a shift. Let's take a quick look at the shift summary, look at our more interesting calls. So let's go through the call center calls. So our first one was a cat in a tree. Is that the one, Joseph Copus? Was that the guy? Jacob Copus. So normally, like I said, that would be the kind of call that I normally would resolve, or ignore rather, mainly because even if you successfully resolve most of the time a cat in a tree call, you don't get anything for it. Normally you don't even get a reputation, you know, a positive reputation point for it. And if you ignore it, you don't get a penalty for it. So most of the time, that's why I ignore cats and tree calls. But this particular call type is a little different. When this guy calls you through the 911 dispatch center, I don't think you usually lose anything too much if you ignore him. But if I have a free unit like I did very early in the shift that time, the reason I sent somebody to help him is not just because I had a free unit, but also because sometimes if you don't help him, and I noticed from experience, you wouldn't notice playing, you know, first time, spoilers, but he'll try to climb the tree himself to get his own cat down, and he'll fall and break his leg. So you end up having to send an ambulance there anyway. So if you send him like a fire department unit as professional assistance, then, you know, you kind of avert that outcome, and we got +1 for it there. So that worked out for us. Nice reputation story. Thank you, Chambo. Search and rescue grid reminded you of Battleship. Yeah, that's exactly what it's like, isn't it, Chambo? Cat lovers took up a collection for the team. Yeah. Sad it can't be reflected in your profits. Yeah. All right. So let's see. The other call we got was, oh, the guy, sounded like the watchman called from the construction site. So, so we had him do the evacuation of the facility. We didn't tell him to deal with the gas valve issue. We just let the fire department deal with it. So luckily, you know, nobody was hurt. Looks like the evacuation was clean. We got +4 reputation on that. That's good. Now this one, I almost always ignore also. This is the poor woman who called because she, you know, a bat flew in her place, right? I mean, lady, just open the window and the bat goes away eventually. And I speak from experience because I've had bats in the house myself, which is not fun, but, you know, that's not a 911 call. But again, I just sent somebody to help her mainly because I had a free unit hanging around in the neighborhood. So I just, you know, I sent somebody to deal with it, and they got the bat out of there. But other than that, there's usually no downside to those calls. But +1 reputation there. I like to imagine we get some goodwill out of it. So what was this? So we had, oh, the game developer called because he wanted to find out about 911 work. But, you know, we're in the middle of emergencies all over the place, so we ignored him. +3 on that. Let's see. So we had a robbery call here. Which one was this? Oh, yeah, this is the woman who called. Her friend got knocked down. He was having breathing problems, and the attackers ran away. She didn't know where they were. So let's see. Oh, so it looks like we got police units there in time to actually find the thief. Because see, in the summary here says thief has started a fight. Thief gave up. Thief started a fight. Thief was injured. So we found 2 thieves, it looks like. Sounds like one of them ended up in the hospital, the other one went to prison, so. And somebody else was taken to prison. So it looks like we made about 3 arrests there, maybe? So anyway, yeah, so unlike our previous shift, we actually were able to find the the thieves there in the area before they were able to totally escape. So we have +1 reputation there, which is kind of low. Seems like we should have got a little bit more for making the arrest and rendering first aid, but okay. And let's see what else we had. So we had, oh, this is the initial prison escape call. So we got +5 on the initial part of it, but a lot of times those search and rescue scenarios break into 2 separate calls, or events rather. So the second part of that was actually finding the fugitives, and there were some injuries there. And yeah, it looks like they got their butts kicked and then arrested and taken to the hospital. And we found the kidnapped driver, gave them first aid, +3 reputation there. So for the overall prison escape scenario, plus net of +8 on reputation there. So that's pretty good, not too bad. But like I said, only the 1 injury here. I'm not sure exactly where this guy got injured. Sometimes you can go through the individual calls and you'll see where he got injured, but not all the time. It could have been the loud part. No, I don't think I sent medical to the loud party. House fire, maybe? No. Gas explosion? I think I sent an ambulance to the gas explosion. He could have been hurt there. Let's see, there was a fight here. Doesn't say. Alright, well, I'm not exactly sure where he got injured, but luckily he's only out for 1 shift, alright? So, unfortunately, this guy's going to sit for a shift. But now we're up to 134K in petty cash. That's pretty good. And yeah, this guy came off of our #1 ambulance unit there. That's unfortunate. But as you can see, these 2 guys here are very high ranking. They're 1 stars. Max rank for any of your department professionals is 3 stars. So you start out as, 1 stripe, 2 stripes, 3 stripes, private, corporal, sergeant, I guess. And then 1 star, 2 stars, 3 stars. That's basically the rank progression. So 2 1-star units, crew people here on this unit will be fine. And they'll get him back on the next shift. Alright, so in the meantime, we were thinking about getting another police unit. I'm wondering if I want to do that or if I want to get another ambulance at this point. Excuse me 1 second, guys. Let me check something here. All right. You know what? Let me approach the decision from this aspect. So we do need to make another police recruit hire to kind of partner with this officer who's been sitting the bench. So let's take a look and see if we have any particularly outstanding officers. So right away, this guy here, this Jaden Thomas, he's a sergeant. His ratings look pretty good. He's 90% driving skill, 85% marksmanship. He has pretty good ratings. So I would say we'd hire this guy pretty much right away. So we now have 2 crew that we can put into a police unit. It's a matter of what type of unit do we want to deploy. So what we could do is we could put another police squad car in the street for 50K. But what I was looking at before was an unmarked car for 75K. And the advantage to an unmarked car is that they have a higher top pursuit speed, and they also have a better chance of basically, yeah, like it says here, has a larger chance to spot road law violations. So they have a better chance to spontaneously respond to, incidents on the road themselves without you necessarily having to dispatch them to a call. In the meantime, let's take a look at, real quick, the recruits available for paramedic duty. So we have a guy here, 93% driver, that's not bad. This guy, 87% driver, 97% first aid. That's a solid recruit right there. Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna hire that guy right away. Even if we don't get him off the bench right away, he's a good hire. We got a recruit sergeant here, is pretty good. Driving's not so high, but first aid's pretty good. This guy's first aid is also pretty good. So we have a couple different recruits here. We could immediately staff another 3-person ambulance if we wanted to. And what would it cost for us to grab another ambulance unit and put it on the street? Also, we could buy a different type of unit. For example, this rescue vehicle, I usually like to have these in our staff, our 3-person medical transports, because they can carry more patients. Actually, I might be able, let me see, 75, 50, it'd be 100, 125. Technically, I could buy 2 units at this point, but I can't necessarily staff both of them right away. Especially while this guy is down. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy the unmarked car, because that's what I've been thinking about pretty much right away. And I'm going to get that on the street. I'm going to position it here because like I say, I like my units to be ordered by types, just so at a glance I can see where things are and grab them quickly and dispatch them. And let's see, this guy can be the senior member of that team, and then his rookie partner. Actually, you know what? I usually like to have more senior officers in the unmarked cars. So let me reevaluate who my top ranked officers are. So let's see. She's a 2-star. She's my highest rank. As I say, rank has its privileges, right? So I think what I'm going to do is technically I'm going to tell you what. Let me redo that. And I'm going to give them the unmarked car. And I'm going to reassign this crew to a second squad car. Alright, I'm going to give them a police terminal because they are probably going to be doing more traffic stop type work. Give him the terminal. Give him his service revolt, his service pistol. And I need to equip pistols for this one. And give him body armor. And I will buy another piece of body armor for this unit. And while I still have a little bit more money in petty cash, I'm going to make one more equipment change here. Who's the better marksman on this unit? She is. I'm going to actually assign them a police shotgun, because I also tend to redeploy my unmarked car as a backup to the police van, who tends to take some of those heavy SWAT type calls. At least that's the way I run my units. And usually, you know, give them a little bit more firepower to back up our SWAT unit when needed. So it gives them a little bit more flexibility. Alright, so I'm going to sit on the rest of our petty cash to try to, hopefully in the next shift or two, get another ambulance on the street. And in the meantime, this recruit, I think I can temporarily assign this recruit to this empty spot on the ambulance crew here. Also, you know what? Let me hire one more fire recruit just to fill the spot on our number 2 truck real quick. BRB, okay, Davies. Alright, this looks like we're the same recruits that we had after our last shift. I don't see any other really outstanding recruits at this point. I think I'm going to wait one more shift before I hire somebody to fill that seat. Okay, so I'm going to sit on the rest of this cash for now. Alright, so we're going to run one more duty. But before I do that, I'm going to take a very quick break, stretch my legs, get myself some more water, and I will be back in a couple minutes, folks. Alright, and we're back. Alright, Chainwheel, I'm sorry I missed you when you stepped out, but yeah, thanks for dropping into the stream, and hopefully you have a good evening as well. Appreciate you stopping by. Alrighty. Alright, so I think that's all the staff changes we're going to make for now. So we're going to sit in the rest of our petty cash. Let's start another deployment. Alright, so we have a brand new unmarked car on staff. So let's reevaluate the deployment of our units. Squad cars. We have our patrol car here, our van here, and our motorcycle there. I think that's decent deployment. 1, 2, 3 ambulances, that's fine. 1, 2, 3 fire units. I think that's fine. No, I think I might switch these two. Try to get my tech truck a little bit more centrally located on the map. And let's see, east to west. Is that good enough coverage? I think that's fine. Alright, that looks good. Let's start the duty.
Yeah, I'm leaving Ashley. That's going to be a 90 door. Show me going to the other 1011. 56-16 Craft Avenue. 113, Lieutenant. That's 1011 on 11652 Sutton.
10-4. Alade Road.
Yeah, I'm leaving Ashley. That's going to be a 90 door. Show me going to the other 1011. 13 King 84.
Alright, 30 minutes into shift is our first call. A red light call. Alright, well let's send our mark unit there because they're right in the area. Might as well get them some XP right off the bat.
10-4.
1125, can you go to the radio room?
Alright, electrical hazard. A broken electrical lines reported. So that calls for the tech truck. Let's roll them. We'll take this phone call.
911, what's your emergency?
Hi, I'm a barista at the coffee shop at and there's this strange guy outside the store.
Well, what's strange about him?
He's leaning against a tree leering at customers as they come in. making the weirdest faces at them. How long has this been going on for? I don't know, maybe 10, 15 minutes? Could you describe him for me, please? He's a white male wearing sunglasses and a black leather jacket. Does he have any weapons? Well, he does have a bulge in the side of his pants.
Alright.
Do you think that's a holster or something? Has anyone asked him to leave? No. Should I?
No.
No. Stay inside the shop and wait for police to arrive. Okay. Thank you so much. Bye.
Alright, so I'll dispatch 2 police units there. No telling what that bulge in his pants is. Right, in the meantime, did we miss any other calls? No, all we have, otherwise, oh, here's one. A foot injury, so we'll dispatch ambulance to deal with that. Let's take a look at this barista call, though.
5DVO, 10-5 that location. Sorry, 10-4, thank you.
We're under fire. Need backup. Need backup.
Okay, so he did have a gun that escalated to violence. Let's send an ambulance to back those 2 up. Glad I sent 2 police units to deal with that.
13 King 84. D39 is going to be a 91. I'll pick up an top.
1125. Can you go to the radio room?
Sorry, 10-4, thank you.
Alright, meantime, what else we got? This is a, what is this called?
Standing by.
Epilepsy.
Heading over there.
113 Lieutenant.
Looks like our unmarked car spontaneously responded to that, but let's get an ambulance down there to help them. Let's take a phone call.
13 King 84.
911, what's your emergency?
A murder has been committed.
Where did this happen? Who's the victim?
It's my wife. Could you send the police here?
How did it happen?
It was we had an argument. It was self-defense.
What do you mean by self-defense?
She had a knife.
Do you have a weapon?
Yeah, I have a gun.
You're going to need to put the gun away, okay?
Yes, I'll put it on the table. I'm nowhere near the gun.
Stay where you are. Wait for the police. They're going to be there shortly. They'll take care of this.
Okay, I'll wait. Thank you.
13 King 84.
Alright, so we got a police squad car going there. Let me send an ambulance also, just in case he's wrong and she's not dead, but we'll see. Meantime, we got a suspicious person call here. I think I'll send the unmarked unit to take a look at that. I think he's carrying a gun. I'll send the police van as backup. See, another new call here. Homicide call. Person witnessed the act of committing murder. Alright. I'll send 2 police units to take a look at that quickly.
113 Lieutenant.
We're done here.
Alright, how's this call going? Yeah, she's dead, alright. That's unfortunate. Alright, they have enough to deal with that. What's the other new call here? Drug dealer.
13 King 84.
We're done here.
Somebody's dealing openly on the street. We'll send our unmarked car to take a look at that. He'll probably never see him coming. Alright, what's this incoming call?
911, what's your emergency?
Help! My kitchen is on fire!
Where are you calling from? What's on fire?
My toaster! And the fire's spreading!
Toaster.
Okay, do you have a fire extinguisher?
Yeah.
Okay, use it to put out the fire.
Okay, wait. The fire's gone. Thank you.
No problem, just doing my job.
Bye.
Alright, so we can ignore that. That's resolved. So I just rediverted our unmarked car to try to run down this vehicle theft because they were the closest ones there. In the meantime, I'm sending a motorcycle unit to cover the drug dealer, but they're going to need some backup. Plus, they're going to need a unit for transport, because motorcycles can't transport arrested suspects. So we'll divert a squad car there for backup for them. Alright, in the meantime, what's this call? A woman's bag has been stolen. Suspect is running. Alright, we'll send the squad car to try to run that down. Alright, what is this call? Car was reported speeding. Alright, well, we'll see if we can send a motorcycle down to run the speeding car down.
2247 West Monroe.
Alright, so far not too bad a shift. Those are only 2 incidents. Pickpocket and a speeding car. Alright, so that one's covered. Alright, so we get a nice fat ticket out of that one. And this one, pickpocket is under arrest. Does not look like the pickpocket is armed with a, looks like a knife, but they were able to handle that without any violence. Building on fire, large fire. People are trapped. Alright, let's get 2 fire units there, and we'll take this phone call. Oh, just missed it, damn it. That's going to ding my record, oh well. We'll also cover this fire with an ambulance. Let's see what else we got here. What's this? Fire in a warehouse. Large technical fire. We'll divert the tech truck there immediately. Which one's a larger fire? Well, this is the older fire. I'll send my number 2 fire truck to cover that. Alright, you get out of there. You're not a firefighter. I don't want you getting hurt.
Got injured. Going to hospital.
Alright, they look like they're okay. Let's see what else. Illegal parking suspect. Alright, we'll send a motorcycle to cover that. Get some tickets out of it, maybe. And now if the tech truck's freed up, we'll divert the tech truck to cover that, because it's an obstacle that needs to be removed.
911, what's your emergency?
Hello? There's been a car crash.
Where did the collision happen?
Around.
When did it happen?
Just a moment ago.
Are there any injuries?
No, no one hurt.
Are any of the vehicles blocking traffic?
Yeah, both were completely destroyed.
Do you know who caused the accident?
It was my fault.
All right, sir. Please wait for the emergency services to arrive.
Okay, thank you.
Alright, so no injuries at least there, but we'll dispatch police and fire for the accident scene. Let's see what else we got. A road rage incident. Vehicle speeding, multiple traffic violations. Let's run them down with the unmarked car. It's our fastest pursuit vehicle. Alright, let's see what else we got here. This is accident by drunk driver. Medical assistance needed. Okay. Okay, wait a minute. What's going on here? Oh, okay. We'll send that ambulance there, and we'll send a squad car to help as well. Alright, what is this call? Another speeding car. Well, lots of speeding traffic in the area tonight.
Got injured. Going to hospital.
113, Lieutenant. On the I'm on death.
2247 West Monroe.
Alright, what's this call? Another drunk driving accident. Jeez.
Waiting for order. Understood.
It's like Mardi Gras around here. And we'll send an ambulance to cover that. Alright, what's going on here? Alright, that's done. So this is almost end of shift. These are our last calls. Alright, so they're handling that drunk driver, and this is another drunk driver. And this should be our last call tonight. Alright, so one suspect under arrest. And we have an injured suspect there. Or injured victim there. And that's a shift. Alright. So we missed this one call. It was a loud neighbor's call. Timed out before I could click it, my bad. -9 reputation there, but that looks like the only thing we missed. So, could have been worse. So 20 cases, 48 reputation net. Net profit of 45K. No deaths, thank God. In the meantime, we have 1 police promotion, 1 fire promotion, 2 paramedic promotions, and 1 police injury, unfortunately. That's too bad. That's the guy we just got back after a previous shift, I thought, isn't it? Or is it? No. No, because that guy was a little higher ranked. This guy's looks like a rookie. Alright, let's take a look at some of our 911 dispatch calls. So, suspicious person here. Oh, this is the barista call. So, suspicious man started a fight, was injured by police, arrested and taken to the hospital. +3 on that. Okay. There's a guy who called in because he unfortunately murdered his wife, which he admitted on the 911 line. So unfortunately we found her dead. He was arrested and taken to custody, +5 on that. Kitchen on fire. Woman had a toaster fire, but we reminded her to use the fire extinguisher she already had on hand, +2 on that. Loud neighbor call, yeah, we just flat out missed that one. And this one was the guy who self-reported that he caused a car crash. He was arrested, put in handcuffs. Oh, good night to that guy. Smash car obstacles were fixed and removed, +2 on that. Alright. Let's see, do we have any other interesting calls? See, we had a vehicle theft here, +2. Drug dealer was arrested dealing on a corner, +2 on that. Pickpocket was arrested trying to escape, +2 there. Fire in a warehouse, I don't quite remember that one, but +6 there. Guess we did okay. Drunk driving accident. Yeah, we had a couple of those at the end of the shift. +3 on each, it looks like. And both were taken into custody. Okay, so we ended up with an injured police officer on shift, which is something we never like to see. But other than that, not a horrible shift. But let's see. Yeah, that was our rookie recruit from our number 2 squad car unit. So we're gonna unfortunately lose him for a day. That's too bad. But we do get our 1 paramedic back, so we can put him back on shift. Actually, we had already filled his seat, didn't we? Alright, so we'll rotate him out in favor of the recruit that we just hired and put him back on his original squad, ambulance squad. But we might be able to buy that 3rd ambulance now. Or 4th ambulance. So what I would like to do is buy this medical transport van for 50K. And we need 2 more recruits to staff it properly. Alright, so let's see. Alright, so I'm going to do it this way. First, I'm just going to go ahead and buy the medical transport while I have the funds. I'm going to assign one of my existing senior paramedics, who's ranked up quite a bit, to be in charge of that unit. Alright, both of these are pretty good, in pretty good shape. Alright, so I'll assign him. Alright, I'll assign our new recruit to staff on this van. And let's see about additional staff. I think I'm going to assign this guy. He's got some rank, and he's actually pretty good, pretty high medical ratings. So I'll assign him to this unit. And I think I'll hire this person to join this crew. She has pretty good rank, and she's the next best recruit on the board, so that should be good coverage for that unit. And now I have a police unit with a crew member down. I kind of don't really want him riding by himself. I think temporarily I'm going to assign him a partner from this motorcycle unit. And give him a terminal. Actually, I think I'll give her the terminal. Okay. So that should get us through one more shift until we get some of our injuries healed up. Let me reorder my medical units a little bit. You know what? I haven't bought any upgraded equipment for my paramedics. Let me just take a look and see what kind of equipment I can maybe assign to them. Give them some upgrades. I mean, I probably could give them defibrillators, but those are pretty expensive. I think I'm going to hold off on paramedic upgrades for now. Actually, I think I'll buy one. I think I'll buy one defibrillator. I'll give that to the transport van unit. So if we get major heart attack cases, I'd know to assign this unit to those calls. Okay, so let's run maybe one more shift, and then I might call it a stream. Alright, so let's see about where to deploy our new transport van. Actually, I think they're in a pretty good location right where they are. I think we'll leave them there. Alright, let's start the duty.
113 Lieutenant, that's 1011 on 11652 Sutton.
5DVO, 10-5 that location.
Station from charge on Sentinel, what is important?
Good search, altercation, good search.
1125, can you go see the radio room?
Run to the breach on that, 7885.
Alright, so our first dispatch, we have somebody injured in the fall. Dispatch an ambulance to cover that.
1125, can you go see the radio room?
56-16 from Abbey.
Run to the breach on that, 7885.
Got that thing from the we got resolved.
I'm grabbing over and just getting out to the base.
Alright, so we have an ATM robbery here. One armed suspect. Let's send an marked car to cover that, and I will send, I think, this motorcycle unit as backup for them. And I have to keep in mind that our motorcycle unit is riding solo. We can't get him into anything hairy, at least not by himself. Let's take this phone call.
911, what's your emergency?
Yeah, I need some help.
What's the problem, little guy?
With my math.
With your math?
I have to do it. Will you help me?
No, I can't do that, but I can send someone else to help you.
Okay,
Well, where do you live, little guy?
no, with my math.
Yeah, I know. You want help with your math, but where do you live?
No, I want you to talk to me on the phone.
Is your mom or dad nearby?
Yeah, but he's busy.
Can you ask your mom to come on the phone?
Mom! Come on the phone! Mom! Oscar, what are you doing? The policeman is helping me with math.
What did I tell you about playing on the phone?
But I need help, so I need to call the police.
Yeah, but I didn't mean the police. Hello? I'm sorry.
No problem, ma'am. Is everything all right there?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll tell him to stay on the phone.
It's all right, ma'am. Just make sure he's not afraid to make a 911 call in the future, okay?
Of course. Thank you. Goodbye.
Alright, so no harm, no foul.
Sorry, 10-4, thank you.
Alright, in the meantime, what is this? We had a loud party with 5 suspects. I think I'm going to send a police van to back up our squad car here. And we'll get our motorcycle over there as additional backup. Only because they'll get there pretty quickly. Let's see, do we have any other incidents on the roster? Nope. That's the only thing on the incident list at the moment. A lot of people there, but no weapons, so they should be okay. Let's see, in the meantime, we have a large fire. People trapped inside. Medical assistance needed. Alright, so let's dispatch 1 and 2 fire trucks. And we will send... We'll send this ambulance to cover the call as well. Only 1 injury reported so far. Let's see, we have another house fire here. Another large fire. Jeez, I do need another fire truck at this point. Fire department's been pretty busy the last couple shifts. I'll dispatch the tech truck to take a look at that call. Send them ambulance as a backup and take the phone call.
911, what's your emergency?
Hello, I've seen a fire. Can you do something with it?
What's the address you're calling from, ma'am?
In front of...
What's burning, ma'am?
I don't know. It's probably a living room.
Could you be more specific, ma'am? Is the room in a house or an apartment?
The fire is in an apartment building.
Do you know what caused the fire?
I have no idea.
So, how big is this fire?
I I don't know. There's a lot of thick smoke. I can barely see the fire.
Okay, I'm sending the fire department right now.
Good. Bye.
Sorry, 10-4, thank you.
Alright, we don't have a free fire unit at the moment, so we'll have to keep an eye on that until somebody frees up. Let's see. So this was what? Oh, this is a loud party. Alright, we got enough police to handle that. No big deal. What do we got here? Another fight. 4 armed suspects. Ooh, that's not good. We got our squad car and unmarked car free. We'll send them to handle that. Alright, so our fire department just freed up. Let's send those 2 units down to this fire. And we need an ambulance to cover this fight here. 4 suspects. Let's send 2 ambulances. There might be a lot of injuries there. And we'll send the police van as backup to them. I don't know if they'll get there in time, but we'll send them. Yep, backup's on the way. Luckily, we anticipated that. Alright, so what is this? Illegal parking. Cars parked in a driveway. Alright, so we need tech truck, dispatch there. And we'll send a squad car and take this phone call.
911, what's your emergency?
I'm hurt.
Where are you, ma'am?
At home. My house is at Old World Hospital.
When did it happen?
Now. Just now.
Did you hurt yourself, or was it someone else?
He did it.
Could you give me more information about the attacker? Who is he?
We met once. I hardly know him. It was kind of a date.
Kind of a date, oh.
Is he still there with you?
He's left.
He left, okay. Well, at least he left.
I know that's not easy for you, but could you give me a precise description of the attacker? How does he look like? What is he wearing?
Dark hair, brown eyes. He's tall and strong. Wearing a brown leather coat with blue jeans.
Okay.
Are you
What kind of injuries do you have?
He beat me, and there's blood.
Alright, we'll get her an ambulance immediately.
Ma'am, did he sexually abuse you? I'm sending the ambulance and the police unit now.
Police? I can't. I don't want to speak with police. Right now, I just need an ambulance.
I know you don't want to talk about it, but it's necessary. The police officer is going to gather information and evidence which are essential to catch the person who attacked you. I can send a female police officer if that'll make it a bit easier for you, okay?
I really don't know if I can handle any more questions right now.
We need your help to catch that man. Miss, he's clearly dangerous, and he could hurt other women if we don't catch him.
Yes, I will talk to the police. Send them.
Alright, well that got real. Never had that call before. Alright, so we got 1 unit already on scene. We'll send it in the ambulance there. We'll also send our unmarked car as a backup there. In the meantime, we had another new dispatch, a drug call. Alright, so we'll send a squad car there, and we have a free ambulance. We'll send them to cover that. They should be okay.
Sector clear.
What is this? Sharp tool injury.
Sector clear.
Have an ambulance right in the neighborhood there. That should be pretty easy. Let's take a look at this call again. Alright, so she's been taken care of. In the meantime, our other units are doing search for the suspect. I think I'm going to add another police unit to the search here.
2247 West.
Hopefully we can catch that guy before he gets away.
113, Lieutenant. I'll wait for the location on the 77 ID.
Sorry, 10-4, thank you.
D39 will be a 91. I'll pick up an top.
Smoke from undetected fire.
113.
Smoke was detected in the area, but the precise location of the fire remains unknown. Alright, well, we got a couple fire units in the area. Let's dispatch both, and hopefully they can figure that out pretty quickly. What do we got here? A fight. Gangs are fighting using clubs. 4 suspects. Let's send a SWAT van to deal with that, and we'll back them up with an ambulance. Let's take this phone call.
911, what's your emergency?
Hi, I'd like to report 2 arguing men. They're shouting and pulling each other's clothes. I'm worried they will start fighting any moment.
Gotten a lot of new call types tonight, which is cool.
Okay, where are you calling from?
It's the car wash at...
Can you tell if they have any weapons?
I don't know. Hurry, it's getting violent.
Do you know either of these men?
No, I have no idea who they are. Haven't seen them here before. They scared all of my customers off.
Have you tried to calm them down?
Guys, calm down, or else the police will come. Are you there, sir? I think they don't want to meet any policemen. They're running to a car.
Can you tell the make and model of the car?
Black SUV. They're driving away.
Were you able to get a license plate number?
Not really. I don't see well.
Do you know the make or model of the SUV they left in?
No, sorry.
Boy, she's a lot of help, isn't she? Jeez, woman, can you tell us anything that helps?
Can you tell me what the men look like? Are they white, black, Hispanic?
Both are white and tall, wearing dark clothes.
I understand. I'll have officers keep a lookout for them.
Okay, bye.
113.
Alright, so we'll send that squad car to start the search there. Okay, so we need maybe more than 1 ambulance unit at this call. Which call is this again? Oh, gang fight. Alright, drunk driving accident. We need an ambulance there. See if I can get this ambulance to redirect, and we will send... What was this? Sexual assault? Oh, they found the guy. They got that guy. That's good. Alright, what is this call again? Accident by drunk driver. We need a squad car to cover that. Alright, there's a squad car. As soon as they drop off their prisoner, yeah, we'll send them to deal with that. So what do we need here? They need another ambulance transport, and that call should wrap. What is this again? Stalker? Let's take this phone call, though.
911, what's your emergency?
Hello? My stomach hurts really bad.
What's your address, sir? So how long have you had this stomach pain?
It's about 2 weeks, I guess.
2 weeks, dude. That's not an emergency.
So why haven't you gone to a doctor, sir?
I was busy. There were so many things to do.
You should go see your doctor as soon as possible. 911 is for emergencies. I hope you understand that. So I can't send an ambulance in this kind of case.
Seriously? I knew I could go to the doctor before I called you. Thanks for nothing.
That guy. Yeah, can't help you, dude. Go see a doctor. Let's see. In the meantime, we got a road rage incident going on there. Let's see. I got these 2 units closing on. What is this call again? Oh, stalker call. Alright, I'm going to divert the motorcycle to that road, road rage guy. What do they need up here? Oh, they're still doing a search. We just need some help. Alright, I need to send another police unit to try to close the search out sooner.
Right away.
5DVO, 10-5 that location.
Reporting. Understood.
All right, he needs an ambulance transport, or arrest transport, rather. All right, get that closed out. What's going on up here? This is still a search.
Case resolved.
13 King 84.
All right, as soon as these units free up, I'll add them to the search there.
I'm listening. Understood.
1125, can you go see the...
Reporting. Heading over there.
You got any FTOs with PPOs?
All right, this is end of shift, so we might as well send all the units to do the search here.
Sector clear. There's nothing here.
I'm grabbing all runs.
Object not found. 1125, can you go see the radio? Sector clear.
We're ready. Affirmative. I'm listening.
Yeah, what the hell? We'll send a couple ambulances to search too. They got nothing better to do.
1125, can you go see the radio room?
Sorry, 10-4, thank you.
Okay, jump company on Central.
10-4.
We're done here.
113, Lieutenant. 5 space. Dash 16, craft average.
Waiting right away. Order 10-4. Waiting for heading over there.
If there's any FTO or crew for that gun turning, give us some experience.
Oh yeah, I'm on desk. 10-4.
Waiting for orders.
Alright, we might as well send an ambulance in there just in case there's any fighting.
5 space. Dash 16, craft average.
If there's any FTO or crew for that gun turning, give us some experience.
I'm grabbing all runs, just getting out of the base.
Alright, no fighting. Looks like they're just writing citations, and that's the end of the shift. Alright, 67 reputation, 50K total profit, no deaths, thank God. 1 police, 1 paramedic promotion, 1 police injury, damn it. Alright, he's down for 1 day, so minor injury. Yeah, he's at 90% health, so that's not bad. Let's see, no calls missed. Okay, on balance, that's not a bad shift. Alright, so let's take a look at our 911 dispatch calls. So, oh, this is the child who wanted help with his math homework. Alright, so +2 on that. So we had an apartment fire was reported. Successfully resolved, +2 on that. There was a woman who called who was a victim of a sexual assault on a sounds like a blind date, which is terrible. So let's see, woman was beaten and raped by the attacker. Very sorry. The operator convinced the caller to cooperate with the police. Caller was checked and reported, successfully resolved. So +11 on that call. Wow, +11, that's really high. Unfortunately, what I don't see in the resolution of this call is we didn't catch the guy. Oh wait, here's another component to that call. I didn't miss that before. Attacker was put in the handcuffs. Attacker was taken into custody. Successful resolved, +3. Okay, so we did catch him. Okay, good. So +11, +3, +14 overall in the call. That's one of the highest incident scores I've ever seen. That was interesting. That's my first time seeing that call since I installed the new DLC. So it's good. Hey, King. Happy Friday, King. How you doing? All right, so let's see what else. So we had a caller with a severe stomach ache, but we decided that was an emergency. We didn't send him an ambulance, told him to go to his doctor instead, +2 on that. Alrighty, and let me see what other dispatch calls did we have. So our last call on shift was this car wash row. Word, car wash owner reported a fight between 2 men. Oh, it's just 2 men? She made it sound like it was a gang of guys. I'm doing alright, King. Thanks for asking. We got a dreary, rainy night in the area up here tonight. And actually, we got like really thick fog outside. I mean, it looks like some good old-fashioned London fog, you know. So, sounded like a good night to sit inside and stream a little bit. Playing a little 911 operator. I don't know if you've seen me play this on stream before, but I haven't streamed it in a while, but I have streamed it before. So, another one of my favorite old man games, you know, as I like to call it. So, yeah, basically just, you know, play the role of a 911 operator, and it's kind of like a point-and-click resource management sim, basically. It rained there most of the day, too? Oh, okay. Yeah, when it started raining here, it wasn't until, like, midday. It was kind of warm here most of the day. But, yeah, other than the rain, not too bad. Alright, so let's see. The results of that car wash call was... Okay, so basically this escalated into a search scenario. It looks like we found the guys. And it doesn't say anybody was put under arrest. It just says they were reported. But either way, we netted +6 on the call. Alright, so that's it for that shift. You've never seen me stream this game? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's basically, you know, simple, like I said, a point-and-click resource management sim where you're running police, paramedic, and fire department units. In this particular case, we're operating in the city of Toronto. We actually just basically opened a new department in Toronto the last time I streamed it, which might be almost like 2 months ago now. And we're up to 11 duty shifts at this point. I think we've run 3 shifts so far tonight, maybe 4. This might be our 4th shift. And like I said, it's just, you know, resource management sim. I mean, I could explain it in more detail, but you'll pretty much kind of catch on as it goes along. No, as far as I know, it's PC only, King. I haven't seen it for console. I think it's somewhat of an older game. I'm not sure exactly when it was released. Let me see if I can figure it out real quick. Oh no, it's not that old. This game came out in 2017. So it's not even 2 years old yet. I stand corrected. Okay. But I remember one of the other streamers that I follow, Black Nova, I saw him streaming it sometime last year for the first time. And, you know, I kind of liked the look of it and thought it was something I could get into, so I picked it up earlier this year. They had recently released a new DLC for it called Search and Rescue earlier in the fall. So this is my second time playing it since the Search and Rescue DLC came out. And, you know, my second time streaming it with that DLC as well. Anyway, yeah, so we just completed one shift. We end up with an injury. So we have this police officer. He's going to be down for a day. And in the meantime, he came off of this unit, so I'm going to rotate this officer on to kind of cover his absence. So I'm going to give him a service pistol. I'm going to give him body armor. Or I'm going to give the body armor to her. Wait. Yeah, I guess I'll give it to him. So we'll get that unit. We'll keep that unit on the street. Welcome back, Daffies. Yeah, we're in Toronto. Yeah, one of the cool things about this game, King, is that you can literally operate in any city in the world. So the game comes with a certain number of cities preloaded, and there's a campaign mode that you can play where it will go through a progression, and you'll build up departments in different cities, and then be promoted to start departments in another city. And so it kind of has a certain number of cities preloaded, but you can pretty much do it has tech built into it where you can pretty much tell it like some obscure town in the middle of Timbuktu somewhere, and it will download the map, and it will basically procedurally generate department locations and whatnot on that map and allow you to operate on that map. And one of the things that it kind of does is when you first install the game and the first time you fire it up, it kind of figures out where you are, and it says, hey, I see you live near Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Would you like to download the map for that city? And you can download it, pretty much that, or you can just, download any city you want, and you can play like a free play mode outside of the campaign mode in any city you want, kind of like we're doing in Toronto right here. So yeah, it's kind of cool. If you like resource management games, I think it's pretty neat. All right, so we do have one seat on our number 2 fire department unit here. Let me go through the recruits here and see if there's anybody we want to hire to fill that seat. So the seat's kind of been sitting empty for a few shifts now. I've been looking for kind of the perfect recruit, but I think I'm just going to have to kind of bite the bullet and hire the best candidate that we can find at this point. They've been shorthanded long enough. I think I'm just going to hire this rookie right here. And he doesn't have any rank, but, maybe we can get him ranked up pretty fast. So we'll assign him to this unit. We'll get him a fire coat, or fire suit, rather. And so he's ready for duty. All right, and do we want to hire any more staff at this point? So this guy's going to be down for one more shift, which means our motorcycle cop here is still riding by himself. But as long as we're careful about what type of calls we assign him to, he should be okay by himself. Alright, so we have $81,000 in petty cash right now. I mean, that's enough for us to hire or buy, some more units. We could buy another ambulance. We could buy another police unit. I think what I might want to do at this point, though, is I might want to start saving up some money to hire a helicopter. Helicopter units are very versatile and fast. So I think I'm going to sit on my petty cash and try to save up enough money to get us a helicopter unit on site. On duty, rather. Alright, so no more upgrades this shift. Let's run another duty. So, King, how was your week? All right, so let me see. We didn't buy any new units, so let me check our deployment. So 2 squad cars look okay. There's our unmarked car there. That's okay. Our police van is here. That's okay. And our motorcycle in the middle of the map. That's a good location for that. 1, 2, 3 ambulances. And a number 4 ambulance, which is a heavy transport, central to the map. That's a good location. We got 1 fire unit east, 1 fire unit west, and we have our fire technical truck kind of central to the map. And I think I'm okay with that deployment. Just got back from Ohio. Had a death in the family. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, King. Close family? Great uncle. Oh, okay. So like your, like one of your grandmother's siblings, I guess that would be? Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, man. That's always tough. Yeah, I mean, I should know I had a number of deaths in the family over the last 2 years. So, yeah, I guess, you know, you get to that age and it kind of becomes, unfortunately, more commonplace than we would like, right? Very, very sorry for your loss, King. Your grandmother's brother, okay, yeah. Alright, so we're comfortable with our deployment. And let's start the duty here. Oh, you're welcome, King. Alright, so we're going to first dispatch of the night. Let's see, what do we have? Building fire. Fire in a large building. It's possible people are trapped inside. Okay. So, since it's a large fire, I'm going to dispatch 2 units to cover that. I'm also going to send... this ambulance is only 1 injury reported. And I should be able to cover that call. Let's take this phone call.
911, what's your emergency?
My wife is giving birth.
Sir, keep calm. Where are you?
We were heading to hospital, but we got stuck in a traffic jam. There is no way we can get out of here. Please help us.
Where are you, dude?
Sir, do you know where you are? Can you give me an address?
We're stuck near...
Is your wife having contractions?
Yes. Wait a second. Do you have contractions?
Alright, let's send a police unit, get them rolling, and I will send an ambulance immediately.
Send an ambulance quickly.
But I'm not sure how soon they'll get there.
Sir, I've sent an ambulance, but it may not arrive before the baby does.
What? What does it mean? That's our baby. I don't know what to do.
Everything's gonna be fine, sir. You have a name for the baby yet?
Yes. We're expecting a girl, so we'll name her Lucy after my grandma.
That's a beautiful name. Sir, I need you to stay calm, okay? You're going to listen to my instructions, and together we're going to take care of your wife and Lucy. Sound good?
Okay. Let's do it. What should I do first?
I want you to get your wife comfortable on her back on a steady, flat surface.
Okay, wait. I'll make some space on the back seat. Lay down, honey. You need to lay down. Okay, what's next?
Has her water broken?
Yes, my wife says so.
Now, you should tell your wife to push.
Okay. Push, honey. Push. Come on. I see the baby.
Can you see the head?
I can't. I don't see the head. Oh, God.
Uh-oh.
Right. What am I supposed to do?
Sir, your wife needs to stop pushing and attempt to delay her labor. The ambulance is on the way.
Oh, that's not good.
God, we'll try. Please, hurry.
They're hurrying, dude.
Medical heading to hospital.
Alright. Well, we'll get a police officer there pretty quick. The ambulance is not far behind, so that'll be handled. Hopefully, safely. Meantime, what else do we have? We have a wrong-way driver. It's a traffic violation. I'll send a motorcycle to run him down. Let's take a look in on this call again now. Alright, so police officers are rendering first aid to the couple with the baby, but the ambulance is now on site. And I think they'll be okay.
2247 West Monroe.
Alright, they're fine. Alright, in the meantime, what else do we got here? We got a sharp tool injury, massive blood loss. Ooh, that sounds bad. We'll dispatch this ambulance to cover that call. Got another call incoming, epilepsy attack. Medical assistance is required. Alright, so this ambulance is going, looks like, to the hospital. And they'll probably be the closest. As soon as they drop off their patient, I'll redeploy them to this call, the epilepsy attack. Alright, in the meantime, what else is going on here? What's this wrong way call? Oh, they're just writing a ticket. Nothing to be done there. Let's take this phone call.
911, what's your emergency?
Hello, I would like to order a big pepperoni.
Thanks, Daffy.
Excuse me, you have a wrong number.
Yes, I know. Oh, and 2 cans of soda.
Ooh. Well, that just gave me the chills.
Ma'am, do you have an emergency?
Yeah, she can't talk. Because somebody's there.
And you can't talk about it because of someone in the room?
Yes, exactly.
Do you also need medical attention? Is somebody hurt?
Yes. Do you know how long it will be?
Okay.
I have an officer about a mile away. I'll send
Alright.
right away.
I'm going to roll this unmarked car and I'll send ambulance them as backup. That's not good.
Are there any weapons in the house?
Yes.
They have
Can you
weapons.
stay on the line with me?
Alright, I'll send them back
No,
up.
thanks. I hope we'll get
Actually,
you soon.
I'm going to send
All right,
this
the officers are coming.
police van. Because I tend to arm my police van units more like SWAT units. They're pretty heavily armed and armored. I don't think they need the cover. I think they'll be okay. Alright, so one dude's on site. He's got a gun, too. That's going to escalate. I knew it. Alright, so we already have an ambulance en route there. That call should be okay. I hope the caller's okay, though. She's injured, but, Alright, we have a medical transport on scene. They should be fine. Alright, good. Took care of that. Not bad. Alright, trash fire here. Luckily, there's a fire unit right nearby. There's another one. Oh, it's not a fire. This is a people trapped in a broken elevator. Let's roll a fire truck to take a look at that. nearby. Let's see, did we miss any calls? Trash fire here, that's being handled. Trapped in an elevator, we just dispatched a fire truck there. Cat in a tree. Cat owner reports his pet unable to climb down a tree. I'm going to ignore that. We got better things to do than get cats out of trees. Okay, didn't miss anything else. Let's take this phone call.
911, what's your emergency?
Hello? My stomach hurts really bad.
What's your address, sir?
Alright.
So how long have you had this stomach pain?
About an hour ago. It started suddenly.
Alright, does anything else hurt?
I vomited half an hour ago.
Ooh, that's not good.
So, do you have any other symptoms?
I also have diarrhea.
I think I'll send
Your
somebody to take a
symptoms
look
could be
at him.
signs of something really serious. I'm going to get medical help to you as soon as possible.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll wait for them to get here. Bye.
I mean, that could be anything. But since I have a free ambulance, I'll just send somebody to check him out just in case. Alright, what else we got here? Pickpocket. A woman's bag has been stolen. Suspect is running. Well, unfortunately for him, there's a cop right there. So, see if we can run that guy down, see what his problem is. Alright, he's got a weapon on him. Looks like a club or something. Alright, they need backup. That guy's injured. Let's send an ambulance to cover that. Meantime, what's this? A biting call. Dog has bitten a person. Let's dispatch a police officer to cover that. And it looks like an injury, so I will send this ambulance to cover as well. They're not too far away. Redeploy this fire unit back to their original location just to get coverage in the center of the map. Let's take this phone call.
911, what's your emergency?
Hello? I need help. It's burning.
I'm sorry, ma'am. What's burning?
It's burning. Send in the fire brigade immediately, please.
Okay, ma'am, I need you to calm down. What is burning?
My car. There's a smoke coming from under the hood. Send in firefighters.
Where's your car?
Ma'am, where are you?
Oh, okay.
Hello?
Is anyone hurt?
No. No one is hurt.
Lucky for her, I got a fire truck right there.
Okay, I'm sending the fire department.
Well, I'm waiting.
Excuse you. I'm waiting. I'm also going to send a police unit to cover just in case somebody needs a ticket written. How'd that fire start? Alright, how are we doing here? This is the biting call, a dog biting call. Oh, that's fast. That must have been a really small fire. He put that fire out instantly. Okay. So much for her. Another pickpocket. Really? Let's send a squad car to cover that. I could send this motorcycle, and the motorcycle would actually get there pretty quick, but I'm trying to be careful because right now... Oh, that was fast. He got away. Damn it. Oh, well. Moot point now. Forget it. What is this? CO2 poisoning. Send this ambulance. They're right in the neighborhood. What is this call? Heart attack. I'm going to send this medical transport van because they have a defibrillator as part of their equipment inventory. So they should be in good shape to handle that. Did I miss any other calls? No, just CO2 poisoning and a heart attack. Alright, another incoming call. What is this? Pedestrian hit by a car. That's not good. Free ambulance, lucky for him. And I will also send this squad car to cover. Let's take this phone call.
911, what's your emergency? Okay, where are you calling from? When did it happen?
Okay.
Get a look at the car. Make, model, color, that kind of thing.
Blue SUV. I'm going to send my unmarked car to run them down.
Were you
Give me
able to
plate.
get a license plate number?
Alright.
I have an officer about a mile away. I'll send it right away.
Alright, so unmarked cars are our highest speed pursuit units. So hopefully they can run that SUV down pretty easily. I mean, should be no match for high-speed sedan. What's this call? Child abduction. A child was abducted by a stranger. Several witnesses reported he is holding the child against his will. Well, that's not good. So, unfortunately for him, we got a SWAT van right there. We will send this squad cars back up. So this is a search and rescue grid. This is kind of one of the new mechanics with the latest DLCs. So they will do a grid pattern search. The more units I assign to the search, the quicker the search will be resolved. I can also micromanage the search if I choose to by clicking on a grid-by-grid basis, but I think I'm going to try the non-micromanage way first.
Sector clear.
See if they can figure it out on their own. Alright, that's actually our last call to shift, it looks like. Alright, they found something. And it looks like we need medical attention there. So they found the child. Did they find the suspect? That's the suspect. They got them both. And that's it. I found them pretty quick, so not too bad. Whew. Alright. Those tend to get a little hectic sometimes. Alright, so yeah, that's it. So that's basically what our standard duty shift looks like there. Is King still hanging out? No, King checked out, it looks like. Alright, no problem. Alright, so let's go through our duty summary real quick. So we resolved 18 cases, which is a little down from the average. Our typical shift is usually in the neighborhood of 20 to 23 calls, so that's a little bit low, but that's okay. We earned 47 reputation and net profit of 34K, which is also a little bit on the low side. But no deaths on this shift, so that's good. So we earned 2 paramedic promotions, which is pretty good, and 2 police promotions. So 4 promotions is pretty good for an average shift. And luckily no injuries to staff, so that's good. Excuse me 1 second. Alright. So we're going to go through our shift summary reports real quick. Unfortunately, it looks like we missed 1 call. So we had a pickpocket call, but we didn't respond in time. I remember seeing it on the map, but by the time I clicked to assign a unit to it, it had timed out. So -6 there. But we still ended up with plus 47 reputation. So that's not too bad. So overall, let's go through our some of our incoming call center calls. So this was a couple that was having a basically childbirth in the car. So we tried to instruct the guy how to deliver his own daughter, but they found out it was a breech birth. So we told him to wait until the ambulance arrived. +2 on that, so that was handled okay. And then the next call we got was the woman calling in code trying to order a pizza, but in reality she was kind of in a hostage situation, I guess. So we were able to get there. So it says drunk thug started a fight. Ended up being injured, presumably by the police in that fight. Gave him first aid. Took him to the hospital. I assume he was arrested after arriving at the hospital. And we gave the caller first aid, +3 on the call, so that's pretty good. And then, let's see, next call was this guy who had a stomach ache. Symptoms, it might have been sign of a serious disease. So basically he received first aid, and we got +2 on that call, which says that we probably made the right decision based on the symptoms that he reported on the phone. Sometimes that works out, sometimes that doesn't. Let's see what else. The next call center call was the woman called from the highway. Her car was on fire. So we sent a fire truck there to handle it, +1 on that. It's very quickly extinguished. It's probably a very small fire. Well, it says small fire, duh. And the last incoming call we had was, let's see, gas station attendant. Gas station attendant called and said that basically somebody filled up and ran. That, I think, was that one of the search and rescue events? No, it doesn't say it was. In any case, we found the guy. He was handcuffed and taken into, excuse me one second. It's only about 30 million people. That's okay.
Oh my God.
No. All right. Sorry about that, folks. All right. So, let's see. So that was the gas and run guy. In any case, we got +6 on that. And then the last thing that came in was a child abduction call. And I think that was a search and rescue event, and got +7 overall for that. So pretty good response there as well. And yeah, we just missed the one response for a pickpocket reported, but pretty good response on everything else. +47 reputation overall, no injuries. All right, so and that's it. So that's a pretty good shift. In the meantime, we have our one police officer returned to duty. We just don't have a unit to assign him to right now. Oh, I take that back. Yes, we do, because we had temporarily rotated out this sergeant from the motorcycle unit, if I remember correctly. So we could put her back. I think what I'll do instead is I'm going to rotate. I think I'm going to leave her on squad. And yeah, I think I'm going to leave her here. I'm going to rotate this guy to the motorcycle unit. He's actually a pretty good driver, and that'll actually enable the motorcycle unit to have an even higher pursuit performance with him as driver. Alright, so we'll give him his equipment back. He'll have his service pistol, and we'll give him some body armor. And we'll just leave this unit intact. And hopefully we can level up pretty quickly this guy here, one of our newest recruits. Okay. So right now we have 115K in petty cash. And what we're looking at doing is trying to, I think for our next upgrade, add some helicopter units. So we have about 3 different police helicopter types to choose from. The cheapest of which comes in at $200,000. The larger police helicopter at $350,000. So we got a ways to go before we can get either one of those. But I think what I might want to do, I usually find a medical helicopter as a first aerial purchase is usually a good investment. But we have to go to 300K to kind of get there, plus a 2-person crew. So I think that might be our next upgrade. I think we were going to work towards a medical helicopter in service for the fine citizens in the city of Toronto. We could also consider buying a fire helicopter, but I usually don't find those to be as useful as buying other types of fire units early on, so I think we'll probably look at our medical helicopter as our next major purchase, so we'll start working towards that. Actually, I think there's one more thing I want to do, though. Since we only kind of have one SWAT man unit in play, I think I want to upgrade their level of equipment. Because right now, let me see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 really good marksmen, but we only have one kind of heavy assault type armament assigned. So I think I'm going to upgrade 2 more units with assault rifles here. So let's see. 89 marksmanship, 82, 87, 95. He's our best marksman. So we're going to get him an assault rifle. Between these two, 82 and 87. I think I'm going to also assign an assault rifle to her. And just for versatility, even though she's our lowest rated marksman, 82% is still no slouch. I'll give her a shotgun just to kind of round out their equipment as a SWAT unit. So that will upgrade their performance a bit in heavy calls, especially things like gang fights and organized crime events and things like that. And I think that's going to be it for my upgrades for now. Actually, let me look at one more thing. I've been trying to figure out if I can give my paramedics any additional upgrades and equipment. We assigned a defibrillator to our one medical transport here. Defibrillators are good to have, but they're kind of on the expensive side. I don't want to buy a whole bunch of them at once. Don't really see any other equipment that I think I want to purchase this time for them. I think I might buy a #1 ambulance, one more defibrillator unit. And I think I'll give it to the more junior team member here in the hopes that he'll level up a little bit. I think I'll do the same here. I reassigned a defibrillator here, so hopefully this unit will level up a little bit. Okay, and I think that's gonna be a wrap for us. I think I'm gonna call that a stream, folks. So yeah, we hadn't played 911 in a while. Nice to get back to it. It's one of my favorite old man games, as I like to call it. And maybe I'll get a chance to stream it some more a little bit tomorrow as well. Let's see. Oh wow, I've been streaming longer than I thought, almost 3 hours. So yeah, I think that's a good time to break for tonight. So that is it. That's going to be it for me for tonight. So I want to say thanks to everybody who dropped in and hung out. It's always nice to have the company. Again, King, very sorry to hear about your bad news. You know, glad to hear you got home safe, and I hope you have a good weekend, King. Hey, Raven. You were lurking the whole time. Oh, okay. Thanks, man. Appreciate the eyeballs. Yeah, you may have seen Beeston streaming this a little bit in the past. That's kind of where I got it from. After I saw him stream it once. And I think he only streamed it once. You know, I kind of picked it up, and you know, nice little point and click game. I enjoy it. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, Raven. Good to see you, man. Hope you had a good stream tonight. Yeah, so that's gonna be it for me, folks. Again, thanks for dropping in, hanging out. Hope everybody has a good weekend, and you know, I'll probably be streaming some more on Saturday, hopefully Sunday as well, depending on you know, how other things go during the weekend. But yeah, thanks again, folks, for dropping by and hanging out. And everybody have a great night, and take care.